Hi,
We're
everybody.
live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's session of Geist the Sin Eater's second edition, Second Chances. Uh, we've been doing a lot of work on the technical side. Hopefully, that will mean that we have eliminated our sound issues. Please let us know if that is not the case. That said, let's go ahead and jump right on in. Today is uh, Friday, November 10th, 2023. Uh, what has everyone been doing over the past 4 days? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. All right. So Ty has been up to a couple of things. First off, I spoke with Myrtle um, about helping me figure out some things about the Da Vinci murders because Ty is not the brightest boy available, but we do have literally an investigative journalist. We are probably going to be able to grab some better dice with that, so I figured it would be good to get their help. They decided to take a look into the Da Vinci murders and is not sure where we're going with this, but I'm hoping that any info they can pull up will match what I pull up when we're tracking down the owner of the Scream Shack. Um, on my second day, I helped jump in Lucerne, and then I went and played some fucking hockey. You know, that thing that I allegedly am good at. Um, The team at the YMCA isn't great, but it's clear they love the game. It's mostly made up of random young adult and teenage men who play for fun, exercise, or both. And while I'm playing, I notice a few members of the Whispering Peaks Preparatory Academy hockey team taking a few minutes out of their workout to point and laugh at me. I cannot wait to just totally sports movie the fuck out of those guys. Um, for my third action, I decided to go help the crew with the crew action, which we'll be talking about in a minute, hunting down Moneybags' lost fortune, um, which I was reasonably helpful for. And last, I brought some potatoes and ghost potatoes to Cookie to experiment with growing things in the underworld. So we're going to see if stuff can grow in the dead soil beneath, and he seems very happy to have them, cast off and otherwise. He's found a little parcel of land in the dead mall's former courtyard he traded for, and he's gonna begin the experiment. So here's hoping we can grow something, because that would be huge. And obviously, what we have to do if we can grow stuff down there is we're gonna have to plant pomegranates. Everyone
Yep.
knows this.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I'll go next, I guess.
Alrighty.
Day one, I decided to talk to my grandma about what my grandfather was like when he was alive and younger. And apparently he was really straight-laced and religious, but his only real vice was a taste for poker that he picked up during the war. As he got older, he mostly just used his cards to do card tricks for kids. Um, Day two, I jumped Lucerne into the crew and I ran a dumb supper, which gave all of our ghost friends a little more pizzazz to work with. Day three, I decided to use my excessive research skills and search into Haley Goldsmith, who was an obscure pirate captain active during the 1680s through early 1700. Her crew preyed heavily on the East India Company and its own hired privateers. There isn't a lot of information about her, and after her crew disbanded, she appears to have just disappeared. And on the fourth day, I did some of my own personal research into the Da Vinci murders. Um, and I found some before, but I didn't look into them too much. But now it's a different story. So the murders happened in France in the mid 70s, like smack dab in the middle of Paris. Um, there were seven of them, and each victim was found posed, or in some cases, used as part of a larger installation, each one named after one of Da Vinci's works. The final murder occurred in 1978, where the victim was found in front of the Louvre, nailed in place atop a stool, and her mouth held in a grim smile by pins. The brass placard bearing the title Mona Lisa was held in her hands. So I've gotten lots of great, terrifying information this week.
Alrighty.
And I believe that leaves you, Ethan.
Yep. So, um, day one spent the day learning uh about the Chosen of Mammon and the principles and gospel of that. And basically what it boils down to is that it is the one hell of a prosperity gospel where your wealth is the only sign of favor, essentially. So this is going to be an interesting experience working trying to undermine these guys. Um, and then day two, introduced our new member of the crew, or inducted them rather. Uh, and then also planted a uh, keylogger and data sniffer on my dad's PC be so I can take a look at his what he's got going on, what he's doing on his PC and whatnot. Then day three was looking into the public facing side of the church, and it just seems to be a from the public perspective, it is a hoity-toity um, uh, church that's invite only. Then the last day, I felt like being a little bit petty, so uh, I redirected all of Todd Kimball's outbound cell phone calls to the suicide hotline.
Okay. On that note, we've finished going over everyone's downtime. So let's get started. It's after school on Friday, the 10th of November, 2023. What's everyone doing?
I'm at hockey practice for the last little bit because I heard Ethan was going to have some church activities to attend to. So I'm doing a little coaching while he's working on that.
Yep.
Nathan?
Nathan is gearing up for our trip today. Namely, he's putting on about 8 layers of long johns.
All right. So, Ethan, you're going to be introducing yourself to the Chosen of Mammon.
Rather, my I suspect Roger is going to be introducing me to the tr Chosen of Mammon. But yeah,
All right. So, I guess we know what scene we're working on at the moment. I suppose everyone else will be get together afterwards.
Yep.
yep.
Let's do our best to keep this brief then. So, your father pulls up into the parking lot of Whispering Peak Episcopal Church. Uh, it's a small building, old, the size of a house, but a very nice house, uh, situated just behind the private school that the rich kids go to, Whispering Peaks Preparatory Academy. Uh, as he turns off the car, your father looks at you with wide eyes and his disconcertingly perfect teeth and his flawless skin, surely a result of surgery, and says, "Now, son, I'm going to be introducing you to the pastor today, and he's going to be making the decision whether you're going to be allowed to join us at church or not. So I'm going to need you to make a good impression. Remember what we were talking about and what we were studying this week. Can you do that?"
I think I can mind my P's and Q's. I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem.
He puts his hand on your shoulder, and says, "You have no idea how proud you're making me today, son. I was beginning to think that you were kind of a lost cause, but..." He wipes the tear from the corner of his eye and says, "I'm getting choked up. Let's go." He takes you up to the front door and opens it. Um, there's a small room where folks can hand over their coats and umbrellas and such. to a staff member to put in the cloakroom. And then just beyond that, there is a room full of pews currently empty.
I
Hey
think that
guys, did
do we
our did we crash?
No, it just
Uh,
came back up.
yeah, just came back up.
Okay, how long were we out for?
Uh, I think maybe a minute.
Not even, I don't think.
Yeah. All right, so let's back up to the beginning of the description of the church. How's that sound?
Alrighty. So Roger ushers you into the door that is the closest to the pulpit on the left, into the pastor's office. Uh, there's a mahogany desk, nice, looks pretty nice. Several chairs arrayed around the room, bookshelves, and a lot of art. Uh, the art looks pretty standard churchy art, but you see some motifs. Um, where you would while the art is generally of various Christian saints and stuff, if you look closely, you can see the circumpunct somewhere in each and every one. Usually it's in the sun itself, but in pieces that take place outside or during the day, it's in other places, in water, uh, in a reflection of moonlight on the floor. It's subtle, and you don't think you'd be able to notice it if you didn't know what you were looking for. But now that you've seen it in action in your dad's house, in your dad's study, you can definitely see it all over the place here. Behind the desk, there's two men, both older. The one who appears to be the pastor, the one who's studying you, is ancient and decrepit. An old man in a motorized wheelchair with a few strands of white hair uh, carefully combed back over his mostly bald head, shrunken liver spotted skin hanging off his skull, a oxygen mask firmly on his mouth, over his nose and mouth, connected to a tank on the back of the wheelchair. His clothing, however, is immaculately ironed, perfectly clean, and from one glance appears to be the most expensive polo shirt and khakis you have ever seen. Standing silently beside him is another older man, but this one looks like he's probably in his 60s. You immediately recognize him. You've seen that face on posters all over town. Uh, the gray, salt and pepper gray hair, the leathery tan skin with the winning smile. It's Mayor Kimball. The man in the wheelchair looks up to Mayor Kimball and says, Graham, stop looming over me like a gargoyle and sit down. Yes, Dad. Yes, Pastor, says Graham as he takes a seat on the other side of you. Your father sits to the left, and Graham Kimball sits to the right. Uh, the old man leers at you owlishly. Sir, you were Barlow's kid, huh?
Yes,
thank you for
sir.
the follow.
Hey.
Thank you, Buff and Stuff.
Hello, Buff. Thanks for stopping in. What's the matter? Says the old man. Cat's got your tongue? Are you Barlow's kid or ain't you?
I am.
With one hand fiddling on the controls of his motorized wheelchair, he pulls out from behind his desk and comes around. He does a slow lap around the three chairs that you are sitting in. His extremely alert eyes meeting yours before he seems satisfied and goes back to sit on the chair. He goes back behind the desk. He's going to remain sitting in his chair because he's in a wheelchair. So, Roger, says the old man, you think your son's ready to join the church? Roger smiles huge and says, he sure is, Pastor Ambrose. I've been working with him for his whole life, and I've confirmed it. Go on, go on, Ethan. Tell Pastor Ambrose about that dream that you told me about.
Yeah, so I all right, I guess we're gonna do this again. So once again, uh describing the the supposed dream that I had, and I'm gonna see if I can invoke uh the call to boost my bullshit my bullshitting of this.
Probably something you did on the way in through the door, let's be honest. I mean, you were here to bullshit.
That's true. All right, hold on a second. Okay. So, let's see here. It is the call, which is going to be ranks in the call plus my synergy, so that's two, three. Yeah, done. All right, and let's do willpower with this. So, uh, oh, I failed.
All right, would you like to take a beat and make that a dramatic failure?
Not this time. Not this time. But that was just to invoke the call. But I still gonna try and uh, you know
L-
paint this story of this dream that I supposedly had.
Okay, that'll be manipulation plus subterfuge.
Can I argue presence plus subterfuge?
I'll give you that. It does make sense since this is a social attack in a way.
I'm gonna spend a willpower to reroll that. This is not
You're
going.
rolling great today, huh?
Dice are rolling great for you. There we go.
Yes. Hey, hey, okay, one success.
While
And the,
Meathead refuses the call to enter your flesh and share it with you,
mhm.
uh, you're still able to spin a story that appears to satisfy Ambrose Kimball. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying?
Let's should I gild the lily a little bit? Put on a show?
If you want, you're the player.
Okay. And I meekly look down and start talking about a second dream that I had, uh talking about the town decaying and um any you know venture prospects uh retreating from the town. And as I start describing the the emptiness of the town, I activate the boneyard, showing them the decay and the uh, decrepitness that is in the future of this town.
Um,
Are you actually going to do anything with the boneyard, or are you just using it for the aesthetic effects?
Just for the aesthetic effects.
Well, you're still going to have to pay the price.
Yes.
You know what to roll.
Okay, so this time I'm gonna use the grave dirt key, I believe. Actually, no. Let's do the key of pyre, so I can add my intelligence to this.
How much plasma will you be spending?
I'll use just the one for now.
I believe the key basically should have you covered for costs. So that one gives you like
Oh,
5 to work with, doesn't it? Or 3?
Uh, five, yeah. Um, so I guess I'll just use the plasm that the key gives me.
Alrighty.
So that is going to be 2, 4, 9. 7 successes on that.
All right. Describe what happens.
So as I start describing the squalid nature of the town and um, and how everyone has left and there's no one, like even the church itself has turned it has turned abandoned. The there uh the walls start degrading and showing the age and graffiti and just complete and utter destitution of time.
Jesus. You going for it, huh?
Yep.
All right. Bear with me a moment here.
And can I do presence plus expression to sell that to sell it?
I mean, you already rolled for the boneyard,
Okay.
but if you really wish to, I'll allow it.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
By the way, is your plasm full because with an exceptional success, you regain half the plasm spent on raising the boneyard when the haunt ends?
Okay. Yeah, I should be full.
That that 2.c note that the crew has been keeping us pretty well lit.
Hmm.
Cenote? Cenote. That was the word.
Is that how it's pronounced?
No idea, honestly. Never heard it spoken. I'd go check the pronunciation, but I'm the tech host.
As you uh, as you use the boneyard to make the surroundings reflect the words that come out of your mouth, you notice all three men around you, your father, Graham, and Ambrose Kimball, staring at the effects. Your father and Graham seem to be taken off guard, uh, but the old pastor uh, doesn't even seem to be particularly surprised. Roll a chance die, please.
It's a 3.
The pastor leans forward. What did you just do, you little hooligan?
I eh, when I woke up from this dream, this is how I saw my room around me. And I don't know. I can I guess I can do this now.
Okay, so we're gonna have an opposed roll here.
Okay.
I need you to roll composure plus subterfuge.
Okay. Let's do another willpower to re-roll that.
God, the dice hate you tonight.
There we go. 4 successes.
Get through this. Well, we do learn one thing here. Old man Kimball.
The pastor leans back in his wheelchair. He looks over to his son, Graham, and says, I remember my grandfather telling me about things like this. That was back in the days when Mammon spoke directly to us. Actual, tangible magic. He looks over at Roger and says, You should be proud, Deacon Barlow. I'm going to allow your son to attend. Graham Kimball stands up and says, but nothing, Deacon Kimball. Sit down. The mayor shuts his mouth and says, shuts his mouth but doesn't say anything. Ambrose takes a deep breath, holding his oxygen mask in place, and says, Until I kick the bucket, I'm still pastor here. And if you want a chance to succeed me, Deacon Kimball, you had best learn how to serve the will of Mammon. And that means when you find power, you, and in unison, Graham and Roger say, you take it. Good.
Why wait to find it when you can make it?
For the first time, you see Pastor Ambrose actually break out in a smile. He doesn't have any teeth, but that's not surprising for a man of his advanced age. See, I like this kid, he says. He's nothing like your little dummy, Graham. What's Todd doing these days? Well, says the mayor, we just completed the S-Mart buyout, so he's went from managing Farmer Kimball's to the new managing the new Kimball's Big Box store. We're hoping that if it takes off, he can be CEO of the Shut up, Graham. You know as well as I do that that's a playpen for a reject. If Todd was worth anything, he'd be here with us. Good boy, but not very bright. I expect things from you, son, he says, pointing a withered old finger at you, Ethan. Now, if you excuse me, I have several tests that need to be done for my kidney and liver function. I intend to be here working until the day they put me in the ground. And that means I've got to stay on top of these things. The powered wheelchair moves out from behind a desk and trundles off further into the church.
And I, I, I dismiss the boneyard as as a wave, a receding wave towards me restores the church back to how it was.
Graham Kimball, his trademark smile completely missing from his face, turns the look over you and your father. Roger Barlow, he says, I don't know how you managed this, but I don't believe for half a second that Mammon has blessed your son.
He didn't manage anything. That me.
Uh, Presence plus intimidation, please.
Nope.
Get him, Tibbs.
All right, and then yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do that. One last one last roll before we go with a willpower to reroll. One success.
Mayor Kimball chews on his lower lip and says, fine, whatever. But your entire family's on my list. Barlow and son, he says before getting up and leaving.
Give your dad a fucking hug.
Yeah, I take a deep exhale, a deep breath and exhale it, and give my dad a hug. Yeah.
He hugs you back tightly and says, son, I was so worried that you were falling in with a bad crowd. I was hearing things like charitable donations, but you make me have made me so proud today.
Yes, I have ch donated to charity, but one of the things you have to do in my in the speedrunning community is keep up appearances that you're giving back to the community. Otherwise, no one's going to want to work with you.
Shrewd, he says, shrugging.
It's politics, that's all.
So the two of you leave the church. So was the group planning on meeting up?
Believe y'all were gonna come pick me up from the rink, so
Yeah.
Yep. Nathan's got his car. Um, Nathan will not be driving to the creepy church, so I will pick Ethan up from his house,
Sounds good.
and we will go get Ty from practice.
All right. Once the group of you two are together, what's the plan?
all right. I step out of school, head in with them, and we're heading up the mountain to a certain old shack that we were told to expect some helpful news there. Because apparently, the deal that we struck with Grinning Sam was that he would talk to the resident there and get him to tell us what he knew. So hopefully, this Johnny Walker would be able to help us.
Okay. So you guys are going to be driving up the mountain, huh?
Yep,
Yes, indeed.
our first visit to the Cotton Winter Resort since the last one that didn't quite make it there.
Um, because of the fact that we died along this road, uh, Nathan's grandmother does have GPS, and the snow tire chain, the tire chains are on, and there is a whole survival kit in the trunk because, well, he doesn't want to get stuck for 3 days in the woods again. Again.
Speaking of which,
Well,
the road that we actually took up, the one where we got stopped on there, has that been cleared and, back into functional?
yeah, it's been well over a month.
Do you guys mind if we take that route up? I just need to grab something on the way.
Sure.
When
Yeah.
we get to the place that we were stopped originally, I asked them to stop the car, and I'm going to roll Memoria to grab a bottle of memory of what happened here. I don't need it right now, but I want this on standby.
All right.
So, one of the things I picked up a couple sessions ago, because I have been spending into Memoria, my haunt, like there's no tomorrow, is memory in a bottle, which allows me to take that projection of what happened there, store it in a bottle, and give it to anybody so they can remember what happened there and see everything in the same amount of detail I was able to project. So that's what I'm going to do here real quick and get that bottle set up for some later research. Okay. So, yeah. Let's make some rolls. Since the key of stillness is a bad idea for this, I'm going to be earning the key of disease. So that is going to be adding my, I believe, stamina. Yes, stamina to the roll. So that's 2 plus Memoria, which brings us up to 11, if I'm doing my math correctly.
All right. Make your rolls.
And that's an exceptional success.
All righty.
So, how I picture this happening. Standing stock still on the side of the road, it's like it's like the memories have sunk into the ground of this place, and I root myself like a tree, pulling up the memory within me, holding it in my hands for a moment. It solidifies and crystallizes in my fingers, I prepared a water bottle earlier, knowing what I was planning on doing, and I shove it in there where it floats ghostly. A little bit of shining light for those with the right eyes.
Alrighty. So you got an exceptional success. You manage it without any issues, and the bottle is filled to the brim with bluish ectoplasm containing the memories of the school bus murder incident.
Yup.
One thing to remember about Recall the Memoria is that while this is bottled as per the memory in a bottle uh, ability, no one else can call up that memory with Recall the Memoria.
Got it. Okay.
Alrighty. And did you spend plasm on that?
No, I spent the uh, plasm from turning the key.
All right. And which doom did you get?
I got the Doom of Sickness.
And by the way, Ethan, what doom do you have right now?
Pyrophilic.
So yeah, so I'm suffering extreme heat until I sacrifice something of value.
All right,
Nathan is
that'll be
not suffering anything except these terrible road conditions.
alrighty. The road takes you up the back way towards the Cotton Winter Resort, but knowing where you need to go, eventually you have to go leave that road and head further up on a dirt road. Eventually, this too comes to its end. Uh, you find yourselves on a ridge on the snowy mountain. From here, you can look down, and about a few hundred feet below, you can see the lodge for the Cotton Winter Resort. Uh, there's a few skiers down below congregating, getting together, getting ready to hit the slopes. Uh, and on the very edge of the ridge, through the snowy trees, you can catch a glimpse of ancient rotted wood, probably your destination. All right. And that's the extreme heat tilt that you're suffering, right?
Yeah. So um to so I need to sacrifice something of personal worth or personal value to me. So uh I take my uh I take out my childhood DS and and snap it in half and bust it up.
All right, well, that resolves the doom condition. I was going to make you roll because you would be rolling at a penalty, but I don't see a point.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something that would be of actual personal value and to Ethan that wasn't just like, something expensive. So,
All right. So are you guys going to head forward on foot?
I think, being that this place is being watched by Cotton Security, the less obvious that we are about going to a decrepit cabin in the middle of the woods is probably for the best.
So where does that land us? Are we
I think we
walking or are we
walk.
driving?
I think we walk.
So you want me to leave my car parked where the bus went off the road and we
No,
all died?
we. I assumed we kept driving after that, but
As I stated, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're just a little bit of ways along, but we probably don't want to park our car next to the rotten old cabin.
about
Well,
half a mile up the road.
okay, cool.
Uh, I reach out, grab Nathan. So, you ever walked in deep snow before? I'm not honestly sure with you.
I
I
mean,
don't
sorry, go ahead.
I don't do a lot of things outside if I'm being real.
Okay. Um, Let me save you the walk. Upsy daisy. Uh, Nathan suddenly finds himself hoisted into the air and set on a shoulder.
Nathan weighs about 25 to 30 pounds more than he normally would with the amount of snow gear he has on, which still puts him around a buck 30.
Uh, the bags of gear I carry around are heavier than you. You are at most slightly awkward. Ethan, you good? I'm not sure I can manage both of you. I'm not feeling great.
Well, um,
Step where I
I
step.
no, I think I'm good.
So, how was church?
Um, apparently I convinced them that I am a let's see. What's the impression I got was that I am the a sign of the return of magic.
Oh, wonderful. Uh,
I put on a bit of a show for them.
you rarely can help yourself, can you?
Uh, hey, if I want to do something about these guys, I need to make a big impression quickly.
So, you know what I've always found is true at every church?
Hmm.
There's nobody there who's any good at tech, but I'm gonna bet they've got some of the best equipment on the planet, and I'm sure motherfuckers like this have security cameras. Why don't you take ownership?
I'm gonna I'm gonna get do some scouting before I start commandeering equipment.
Sounds like a plan. So how you doing, Nathan?
Nathan is up in the air, literally.
Fair enough. We keep walking until we reach the cabin.
Alrighty, could I ask everyone to roll perception, please?
Can Nathan get a bonus from their heightened perch?
+1.
There you go. Don't say I never did you anything.
It's wits plus composure, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Nathan is too concerned about being in the air to notice much of anything. Uh, while Ty hears something from the cabin, the more important thing to him, at least, is that he hears something under it, a sort of humming that's emanating from the cabin in waves. In the back of your mind, you can hear "be aggressive," beginning to growl and snort and scream at the sound of the susurration. Uh, Ethan doesn't necessarily hear that susurration. Not much, anyway. To him, it's just a background hum. The more important thing is that he's hearing several people arguing from the cabin.
Hold up.
They,
You
you
guys,
hear you hear that hum, right? There's somebody active in there.
there's a there's a number of people in there arguing right now.
Okay.
Can we
So
send prom queen in?
we really should have picked up one of the boys, huh? You need to get used to stopping by the graveyard and picking up some people on the way, huh?
Can we send prom queen in?
I honestly don't know. Can we?
I have synergy 4.
You know what? You want her to observe, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you want her to observe stealthily?
Preferably.
I want you to roll the prom queen's finesse plus your subterfuge. No, larceny.
Do you have a larceny? You strike me as a larceny.
I do not.
I'll take subterfuge
Okay.
What about stealth?
or stealth.
I
That's
think
true.
Lex would prefer subterfuge of the options presented. By the way, I'm just going to tell you until the end of this game, Ty is never taking a single dot of stealth. The idea of him being able to pass a stealth roll is too stupid for me to even consider.
Exceptional success.
My god.
After Nathan is put down, the prom queen manifests uh, and uh, happily goes to see what's going on. A few moments later, she reports back uh, that there is a ghost talking with the Six Gun Saint and several other ghosts who are with him.
Excuse me. So, uh, Tibbs, I know you already did this joke today, or at least tried, but I think we're going to have to gear up for Bear. And, Nathan, I would suggest you go take a look at your shiny new equipment I got you about 2 weeks back, and consider what the blast power can do for you. All right. So, I turn to be aggressive, and I say, mind helping me out with this one? I think it's lunchtime. And summon
Uh,
the rage.
okay, time for another haunt roll then. Are you going to be unlocking a key?
Um, are you guys up for doing the talking? When we inevitably have to talk to, the person we're trying to make friends with here?
Yeah.
Because I need to go quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. I
All right,
said,
remember you're sick, so you're gonna have a -1 penalty to the roll.
yep, I know. Well, it's rolls in combat, but that's gonna be, what I have to deal with. Okay.
Were there any electronics in there?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, Ty Kinnison, 1 rage plus 2 synergy plus 4 composure is 7. For the love of God and all that is holy. 2 successes. Ty
All right.
doesn't get bigger. I think that's really important to mention when I talk about this. He doesn't get larger, but what he does is kind of twist. His body turns from a person shape into that more of a hulking monster. He doesn't look like a person as much anymore. His body is turned into a weapon. The claws that are hidden deep within Be Aggressive's pom-poms are on full display, sticking out of his fingers, a la Wolverine. He's angry. He's quiet. And his face is covered in hockey hair. Red eyes glowing out from behind them. He reaches out and grabs a stick, holding it now, looking tiny in his twisted, gnarled hand.
All right. How much plasm did you spend on the rage?
5, in addition to the 5 that I'm getting from the key. I'm not going to run out.
All right. According to Vent the Rage, you can spend 4.
Okay, then I spend that many, so I have 9.
All right. You have spent 4 plasm on Vent the Rage. That means you gain the Rage condition. With the Rage condition, it has the following effects. Your unarmed attacks gain a weapon damage rating equal to plasm spent on Vent the Rage. Ghosts suffer lethal damage from these attacks. You may substitute your rage dots for brawl when making unarmed attacks. If you have no dots in brawl, you don't suffer from the untrained penalty.
Alright, then it sounds like I'm just unable to spend my own plasm on it. It's just the, whatchamacallit.
The ones from the key.
Yep. Sounds cool. +4.
All right, so are you heading out?
Do you want to call up anybody? Tibbs? You see, I'm making a punchline there.
Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, let's see if I can successfully uh don the call this time. All right. And I believe I cannot use the Key of Pyre flame again, correct?
Let me check real quick. I don't think there's a limit on that, especially after you've
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, the only thing that would be limiting that is the doomed condition. And honestly, under these circumstances, I might just tell you to spend the willpower and avoid it.
yeah, according to this, you can only unlock with 1 key at a time, but
Hmm.
you've resolved the doom condition already, so you can use that key as many times as you can use that key again now if you want.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to uh use a willpower to avoid the doom condition this time around. To have 5, 6, 8 dice on that. 7 successes.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
That is a successful use of the call. How many dots do you have in that, by the way?
Just the one.
All right. Ethan successfully dons the call. Uh, would you like to describe that as well?
So, uh, basically, um, when this time around, when I don the call, and basically, uh, Ethan's uh, Ethan's skin becomes see-through. Like you can see all the muscles and sinew and like all the working parts, and he doesn't he doesn't gain the bulk that Meathead has. Instead, he very much gets the like I don't know the swimmer's build, like very lean and quick. Uh, like
Tightly
uh,
knitted muscle.
yeah.
Alrighty. And how many plasm did you spend on the call?
I'm gonna do the five given from the key.
All right. So you have the calls condition with 5 charges.
Yeah.
The condition is on page 306 and 307.
Okay.
All right, let's go make some friends.
Nathan, are you going to do anything?
Not yet.
I suggest pulling out your taser at least.
Um, you are thinking that Nathan has not already made a homemade macrame uh holder for his taser and that it is not slung around his shoulder as we speak. His protective cup is also in, and his whip is coiled up around his shoulder.
Sounds like you're ready to go then. Uh, the giant hulking monstrosity that is now Ty, more so than usual, taps the now terrifying monster that is uh, Nathan on the shoulder, and he waves his hand, pokes at himself, points at you, and then says,
First word. First word. Go me. Okay. Go team. Let's go. Can you please tell me out of character what this is? I'm too stupid for charades.
he's questioning uh, whether he or Ethan is going first, presumably
Uh,
to the door.
you. You first. Ethan can follow up.
The giant, hulking, silent man rips the door open.
Nathan pops in right behind him.
The moment he
And
lays eyes on the six-gun saint, he dives at him.
Okay, so there we go. I was looking for the initiative rules because this has actually been a while since we've done combat. This is the first time we've done combat in this game.
No, it's not, but it was very brief with this same exact asshole.
You guys were running. I wouldn't exactly count that as combat.
I did try and stab him. It just didn't
True.
work very well.
I hit him with water.
Let's see.
So, initiative is rolling a d10 and adding your initiative mod directly to it. So, everyone,
okay.
please roll 1d10. And remember to note what your initiative mod is in the description of the roll.
Right. Bear with me a moment while I get the 6-gun saints.
So I got a 7.
Got a 10.
Got an 8.
I would like to reasonably describe that I don't think this motherfucker saw me coming.
That would be a 13. And for the goon squad, I'm just going to roll theirs all at once. 10, 9, and 9. Well, one got 16, actually, the one who got has succeeded. Let's see.
So we
Ty
don't
got,
have any surprise round or anything?
we're gonna, but
Okay.
I'm just rolling the initiative so we can just roll right in smooth.
Gotcha.
Because it takes a while.
You got it.
Alrighty. So in order, that means after the surprise round, the 6-gun saint will go first, and then it will be Nathan, the goon who rolls best, uh, the other two goons who both rolled 9s, Ethan and Ty. So first we're going to go with a surprise round. So the three of you come out of your hiding spot and come around in full view of the cabin for the first time. Uh, the cabin is interesting to look at. Uh, you are seeing two states of affairs at once. Through your mortal vision, what you see is a burnt out wreck of rotted wood. Uh, what's left of it is mostly formed into a sort of lean-to of filthy rotted wood around one room. However, uh, the cast-off version of the cabin is still standing. Uh, a well-kept log cabin, one room. They overlap each other in ways that hurts the eye, and just occasionally it makes you wish that maybe maybe your ghostly vision shouldn't overlap your normal vision so thoroughly. In front of the cabin, you see 4 people. Sitting in a spectral rocking chair is a ghost in button-up overalls and a straw hat. Uh, his skin cracks as he moves. When you look at him closely, you see that he's covered in burns. Absolutely covered. His skin is reddish black like ash. And when he moves, those cracks that you heard are literal. Occasionally, blue spectral flame runs up and down his arms. His face is not a great thing to behold. Mummified, charred flesh adhering to a skull with blackened teeth. Uh, his clothing is just as badly burned as he is, uh, though it hasn't fallen apart. He also holds in his hands the spectral cast off of an old shotgun. Standing in front of him is the six-gun saint and three other ghosts. As you approach, you hear what they are talking about. Sir, I think it would be best for everyone, the young lady in there and yourself included, if you were to come with us to the underworld. We have a nice town there called Purgatory Junction. You would be able to settle in. You'd be able to leave the living alone. The burnt ghost goes, "Ha! I didn't survive drinking from the sticks and clawing my way back up here just to follow our Reaper down to the underworld again. Sir, with all due respect, the dead belong below. If you will not come with us, then we will have to use force."
At the
And
word of
Nathan,
force, can I jump on him?
this is where the group of you come in. So, uh, the the enemies aren't getting a turn here, so we're going otherwise in initiative order. So Nathan, Ethan, Ty.
is there anything you particularly want to do first, Ethan? Because otherwise, I have a pretty great idea.
I have a possibly pretty humorous idea as well. So
Well, it is
um
Do you want
Nathan's
to?
turn by initiative order, I think.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought Kenny said we tied.
Nathan is 10, Ethan is 8, Ty is 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, Nathan and Ethan tied. Okay, my
Yes,
bad. So
I have chosen the worst name to cause the maximum amount of confusion. I really did a great job.
Nathan stomps his foot as close as he can to the Reaper and says, "No" is a complete sentence and tases him.
All right, so you're just going to be attacking with that, or are you going to be using any of its
I'm going to attempt to use the Blast Numina.
Numa, Numa, yay.
I know it says that I have range on this, but I'm gonna get as close as possible.
it's 10 yards per point of power. And I believe that the cast off taser had 4 dots of power.
Correct.
So technically, you could have done this from back where we were sitting, but like, whatever is amusing to you.
I'm probably still pretty far back, but to Nathan it feels too close, so I'd say halfway between the six gun saint and the door.
All right, you would roll the cast off's power plus finesse for the activation roll. And according to the Blast Newman, you can pay 2 essence on the cast off itself, or 2 of your own plasm to increase the weapon rating by 1 lethal damage.
I would like to pay 2 plasm.
All right, essence, 2 of the your plasm or 2 of the cast off's essence.
My plasm.
All right, so that makes it +2, +2.
Nathan used his willpower in that roll and failed.
Would you like to get a beat and make that a dramatic failure?
No, I would like to be functional for the rest of this session, and I don't want to know what a misfiring taser looks like.
All right, so who were you attempting to tase again?
The six gun saint.
All right, as Nathan rushes the six-gun Saint with the taser, the Reaper turns around, the mask covering his face expressionless. You can see the uh, sugar skull decoration on it up close as he steps forward, grabs the arm holding the taser, and effortlessly deflects you.
I would like to note that the taser is still in its macrame pouch, so it is still slung around my body.
The living dead have graced us with their presence, says the six-gun Saint, looking up at you. Okay, so that makes the next person in line Ethan.
Okay. 2 plasm to use the remembrance trait so that of meathead, so I get two points in brawl. Because I'm only allowed to spend two per turn. And then I spend a charge of my uh of the call to substitute my strength for uh Meathead's uh power stat. And I'm gonna try and rip the mask off the Reaper. Just
All
straight
right.
brute force it.
That would be Meathead's power plus your brawl, since you've used Meathead's remembrance to get brawl.
It's 1, 2, so that's 8 plus 2, 10. Yeah.
And everybody, let's not spend willpower on base rolls at this point because the dice are trying to kill us tonight.
Yeah. So 3 successes to rip the mask off of him.
All right, let's treat this like a grapple.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
All right. To start grappling, you make an unarmed attack. On a success, inflict no damage, but start a grapple. So you have successfully started a grapple. Uh, we'll be uh, we'll be doing the opposed strength plus brawl rolls, starting on the top of the round with the six-gun Saints initiative, since it doesn't say that you can choose a grapple option unless you also get an exceptional success.
Okay.
All right, that means Ty is the only one left to act.
Well, that was my bit, and he's far more qualified to do it, so I'm going to do some crowd control. Um, One of the things that I've truly grown to hate is that technically, technically, the rage only works for punches, but I just really would like to imagine that we're doing some high sticking here on our little crowd of friends here as I deliver a brawl attack to the face of one of these stupid, stupid fuckers. So, strength plus brawl, plus the bonus from the rage.
Remember that your attacks deal 4 lethal, and I know it's been a while since we do that. That doesn't mean you add those 4 dice to your roll. That's just
Just
4
if I
automatic lethal
touch,
damage.
it adds 4 extra successes, essentially.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure I reminded you.
Yep. Alrighty. So, okay.
And since the well, you're not grappling, you're not hitting the six-gun Saint, so just go ahead and
So, what's the
let's
defense
see.
on one of these guys?
I'll say 3.
Alright. That's 2 successes.
Okay, so that deals 6 damage. Uh, the ghosts with the 6-gun saint are not particularly powerful ghosts. Uh, they've gone fuzzy and indistinct, the mark of a ghost whose essence is waning. Uh, at a hit from Ty, uh, one of the ghost's arms is completely sublimated into mist.
Sorry, I can't speak. I forgot for a second I didn't speak. I caught myself immediately. Please let me have this one. I am allowed to make
That's the
one
one you get.
mistake.
That's the one you get. Uh, but you still can react even though you can't talk.
He says he wants you to go back where you came from.
Okay, so top of the action order. Strength plus brawl between Ethan and the 6-gun saint.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be using the call's charges again?
I
Or are you going on your own strength plus brawl?
I'm going to use another charge.
Alrighty.
4 successes.
Alrighty. He doesn't have brawl, but as a ghost like that, he doesn't take penalties. Three successes versus 4 successes. Let's see here. Instant and contested. Strength plus brawl versus strength plus brawl. The character with the most successes chooses a grapple option. So of the grapple options, there are break free, control weapon, damage, disarm, drop prone, hold, restrain, or take cover. Disarm requires control weapon, and considering what the Reaper's mask can do, I'm going to consider that a weapon.
Okay. So I guess I'll do control weapon then.
Take firm hold of the weapon, either your characters or their opponents. Lasts until your character's opponent chooses control weapon.
So he's going to have to rip your hands off of the edge of his mask in order to prevent you from ripping it off on your next win.
So Ethan has his fingers uh, firmly grasped around the edge of the 6-gun saint's mask. The 6-gun saint has his own hands wrapped around Ethan's wrists. Don't do this, he barks at you. This is wrong and you know it. You're dead. You're doing nothing but hurting your family and your friends by remaining behind. All right. Nathan's turn.
Uh, Nathan looks at his taser, shakes it like that's going to somehow make it work better, and flops it to his other hand and tries again.
All righty. And who are you attacking?
The 6 gun saint again. 4 successes with the 2 plasm spent.
Alrighty.
Yikes.
So that means you've spent 4 plasm so far on this. Uh, so that would be 5 lethal damage because he doesn't get his defense while in a grapple, I believe. All right. Give me a second to do the math. All right. The cast-off taser sends a blast of electricity coursing towards the 6 gun Saint, hitting him directly in the back while he grapples with Ethan for control of his mask. You can see the waves of sublimated plasm coming off of him like a mist. But the 6 gun Saint holds resolute. You can hear him grunt from behind the mask, but he otherwise does not move.
You, of
All
all
right.
people, should know that coercion won't get anyone anywhere.
Our first goon is going to attack Ethan since he is grappling the 6 gun Saint. And let's see. Ethan is grappling, so I do not believe he gets his defense either. There we go. I am silly and do not know how to use our own dice roller. So the ghost aims his foot squarely at Ethan and makes a kick towards his back, but whiffs it entirely. The second ghost, the one who had been attacked by Ty, decides to take revenge and attempts to go at him teeth first to tear free some plasm. What's your defense?
My defense, that is going to be 6.
Okay, so that's a chance die for him. Uh, he succeeds.
Congratulations. I have an armor rating of 2-2, so either way it'll apply.
Yep, which means he hits you and he attempts to bite down as hard as he can, but he only manages to tear away a few scraps of cloth from your ectoplasmic body, since you're imbued with the rage. He's not able to pierce your skin. Uh, he swallows what he can, though, and you can see that his indistinct features become somewhat more defined. You feel that he has recovered slightly from getting what essence and plasm he could from your body. The third goon will go directly for Ethan as well, since the 6 gun Saint is in a grapple. And he will likewise with his kick. Ty, Your turn.
Well, I feel like removing elements from play is the job that I have been assigned here. And the best thing I can do is try and remove this guy who I've already injured and then start kicking down the others. That seems like the reasonable tactics. So, the guy who just bit me is getting a face full of claws.
Alrighty. Roll them bones.
Okay. 2 successes. 6 damage.
All right. Under the weight of Ty's claws, the ghost that attacked him uh, dissolves entirely into a puff of vapor, leaving behind a pool of luminous blue ectoplasm on the snow.
I turn to
All
look at Johnny Walker, who I'm assuming is still sitting in his chair with his shotgun, and salute with my claws.
The old ghost watches in amusement. He doesn't appear to have made a move one way or the other. However, when he notices you saluted him, he gives a friendly little wave before resuming rocking. All right, so it's the Six Gun Saint's turn again, and that means that we all act that him and Ethan act on the same initiative during the grapple. So strength plus brawl.
Yep. Can I spend another thing of plasm?
You
Because I
can
saw.
continue.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend another point of plasma to so that I get the full 3 points of brawl, and also spend the fourth
But that was
charge.
just for the scene. I thought you got
Right,
the
right,
memory.
but I can only spend up to 2 plasma a turn.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
per
I'm
turn
dumb.
limits.
Yeah,
I'm dumb. Sorry.
7 successes.
Oh,
Two,
Christ.
two.
So,
So I actually know this one. An
Okay.
exceptional success on a grapple where you won means that you get to make 2 choices out of the grapple options.
yep.
Okay.
So you can choose two from break free, control weapon, damage, disarm, drop prone, hold, restrain, or take cover.
May I suggest disarm and hold?
Actually, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So first off, yeah, I'm gonna be taking disarm. Um, Once I do that though, what is the mask made out of? Is it made out of plasma, perhaps?
It is, since it is a ghostly artifact, that would mean it is made out of essence and plasm in the same way that everything else in the underworld and ghostly is.
I eat it.
Oh, I was gonna say give it to the old guy to eat, but you can eat it.
Okay.
You do know that is a memento if you wanted to keep it, but like I also get totally destroying it. But it's a free key otherwise.
Do you want to destroy the mask?
I think it would send a pretty clear signal.
Do it.
All right. Uh, Ethan rips the mask off the Six Gun Saint's face. Uh, the the form of the six-gun saint drops from Father Calavera, and under your arms you hold the ghost of the frail old priest in his slapdash robes. He he holds his hands towards you, going, "No, give him back." And you want to destroy the mask? That would be treat damage. Treat the grapple action as an unarmed attack, inflicting damage equal to your rolled successes.
Hold on. Let's do one little out of character chat. Jeff, you are the one who would know best among us. What is the bad thing that can happen if we do this?
We no longer have access to the nice object, which is also an incredibly risky object because any ghost could theoretically steal it from you and become this guy again.
Okay.
It's just I didn't think we'd get a shot at this, so I haven't had a chat with you guys about what we were gonna do when we got it.
So
Rosie's throwing a fit in chat.
okay, can honestly, I'm kind of I my initial idea is to consume it, like just eat it for plasma, but
I think it's
um
the best joke here, honestly.
I think so too.
Take the damage roll, swing and
yeah,
bite it.
yeah. All right.
Use your terrifying jaws and go for it. So take a strength plus brawl roll, I think is the sanest way to interpret that.
Uh
No, he just does the amount of damage that he did in the grapple check to the item.
Oh. Well, there you go.
sorry, Rose.
All right. The death mask enters into Ethan's mouth, and he crunches it and immediately feels a backlash of power. So I'm going to need you to roll stamina plus athletics, I believe. Makes sense here.
I actually have an okay dice pool at this.
Remember, kids, running is everyone's job.
One success.
All right. All right. 9.
Oh,
Do you have
oh
8
God.
HP? Hey, Ethan?
1, 2,
This isn't a
3,
Armor.
damage
4,
roll.
5,
Oh.
6,
This isn't a
8.
damage roll.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Well,
Bear with me here.
I'll start rolling up a new character. Give me a minute.
I'm hoping that this is going to be how much power you get.
Uh,
All right. You can feel another presence within your body, and it is not happy to be here.
That meathead to kick him out.
The sensation of a third spirit within your body, uh, yanking as hard as it can, is extremely foreign, but also extremely hard to resist. Uh, your body already made flexible by the call flings itself uh, several feet away from the gasping priest. Okay, so it's Nathan's turn.
Can I just get a quick overview of anyone who's still moving in a hostile fashion?
The two goons that were with the six-gun saint are still standing. One of them is been reduced to a puddle.
And we've also,
I
also
would go ahead.
and we've also got the priest on the floor if you consider him hostile.
Okay. Um, Currently Nathan is going to hold his action. No, no, I'm not. Fuck that. Um, I'd like to roll composure plus persuasion with my specialty in de-escalation to ask them firmly but politely to leave.
Okay, that'll be a contested roll. So you're what were you going to roll again?
Composure plus persuasion with my specialty in de-escalation.
Alrighty.
4 successes.
Uh, the two remaining ghosts, noticing how the six-gun saint has been unmasked and one of their number has been reduced to liquid, um, happily make a retreat. Okay. So Ethan, actually, the grapple's over. So yeah, it's Ethan again. Let's see. Bear with me just a moment.
I think because of the grapple, I've already gone this round.
Oh yeah, technically you have. Ty, what about you?
Uh, Straightforward question. What is Ty physically seeing going on with Ethan right now? What am I seeing over there?
Uh, Ethan appears to have backflipped and spun his way into a tree.
Um, we seem to be down combatants to just an old man lying on the ground. Yes? That
Yes, and a puddle of goo.
I pick him up as carefully as one can with hands made out of murder, and I look down at him and speak in a voice twisted from eldritch things beyond, sounding somewhere between Thai and be aggressive. Go home, little man.
Father Calavera is on his knees and crying. You give him back. I can't lose him twice. Speaking of,
Rosie, you are not supposed to be betting against us.
And anyways, the rage ends and I shrink.
bear with me just a moment. All right. Numina, power plus finesse. Let's make this a contested roll as well. So you can roll me, let's see. I think stamina plus athletics or survival would be appropriate here.
Okay. I'm gonna use my last uh uh point in the call. Uh, you said stamina?
Yeah.
So that would be his resistance.
Yeah, so that's 5,
So you can use Meathead's resistance instead of your stamina.
7. Okay. Two successes. And the call dissipates.
Okay. Ethan has been reduced to his mortal form, uh, which would not normally be a cause for concern, except for now he's burst into flames. Take 1 lethal damage, please.
Okay.
Uh, from inside his head, Ethan can hear what sounds like an angry scream directed at nowhere. Combat is basically over now. There's the Father Calavera on his knees and crying, the three of you, and the ghost in his rocking chair, who hasn't moved except for that little wave he gave Ty earlier.
So, to ask an incredibly stupid question, in the sense that Ethan is on fire, is he like in the real world totally like on actual person fire, or is he covered in ghostly fire?
This is actual fire. The fire starter Newman was used.
Gotcha.
Nathan starts throwing snow at him.
Uh, I would like to make a wits plus. Would you accept athletics or survival to attempt to push him into the snow and stamp out the blaze with my physically enormous body?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So that's stamina, and which of those would you accept?
Either or.
Then I will take the one that has way more dice. Um, two successes. If there isn't a fire blanket around, a 8 foot, a huge dude will probably suffice. Well, not 8 foot, but like 6 foot 4.
From now on, Nathan is adding a fire blanket to his full backpack.
Alrighty. Now that we're out of combat, give me just a moment because I'm pretty sure you're going to need to roll synergy from destroying a death mask.
Oh,
Uh,
is that
uh,
a?
is that a breaking point?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. I didn't know
Bear
that.
with me just a moment.
Well, it's something our characters wouldn't have known. I doubt that came up in the version of Geist 101 we would have had access to.
I am trying my best to find it in the book, but for some reason the bookmarks are uh, not happy with me at the moment.
I will attempt to find the Geist breaking point. Crisis point triggers.
We're not doing a crisis point for the Geist itself. Ah, there we go. Give me just a sec. There we go. The section on losing synergy.
Return from the dead. Drink underworld rivers, ectophagia, and memento creation.
I was pretty sure that I had read that destroying a death mask would be a breaking point of some sort.
I'm looking at Memento Mori right now.
Ah, technically I shouldn't have allowed the mask to be removed because according to this, donning and removing, a Reaper's death mask can only be forcibly removed in the presence of the death mask's bane. But I'm not going to go back on that whole thing. We're
Okay.
okay. Let's treat this as a crisis point then.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see.
So I have to talk uh talk Meathead down.
So you have a positional relationship, at least synergy 2, correct?
Yes. I'm currently at Synergy 2.
All right, so roll those bones.
Okay, so and it's just I just rolled 2 dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Nothing.
May I suggest giving
Okay.
that a willpower?
I can't.
Ah, ran out.
I
You're
I'm on my last willpower. And
all right.
if I remember correctly, if I run out of willpower, I get some severe penalties on literally everything.
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. Okay, so you can feel from within you Meathead recoiling in revulsion from the presence of another spirit within your body. Uh, and you can feel him begin to freak out. Since you failed the intercession roll, that means two things. You can take the wavering condition, or you can let Meathead respond to the crisis point.
What is
Uh,
that second? What does that second one mean?
he will unleash and possibly cause a lot of damage.
The wavering condition, let's see. You did something to piss off your Geist, and now it doesn't want anything to do with you. You can still communicate, but getting it to work with you is harder. You must spend a point of willpower in order to roll any dice pool, including synergy. So you can take that condition, or you can let him respond to his crisis point.
Okay. And and that's going to be unleashing, which is going to lose me synergy, correct?
No, it's going to mean that he wanders around freely and does whatever he pleases directly in front of somebody we need information from.
Yeah, unleashing isn't going to lose synergy. That would be coming back from the dead or doing something worse. Uh, he would have one of four possible uh,
So basically, it's turn off your.
reactions. He would either choose to defend, escape, lash out, or obsess.
The risk of lash out is pretty severe here.
Yeah.
I think turning off your magic for the last hour of session is going to be less of a risk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the first option. I unfortunately can't afford to risk a TPK.
All right, so describe this to me. Internally, Meathead is freaking out, and you are forcing him to be quiet. How do you do this?
Um, Now, are we talking like this is a visual representation, or are we talking like literally what am I doing mentally to stop him? Or
However
like
you want to describe it.
what do you got an idea there, Jeff?
I actually have one way for wrapping up the we shouldn't have been able to kill him thing, thus letting us have a proper chance of hunting down a Reaper and resolving this whole issue in a way that would look pretty neat
We're
here.
moving for we're moving forward.
I was just going to say the thing that's distressing him is the presence of the other spirit. Vomit out the chunk of mask and spit it down the fucking ravine.
Yeah, Calvin, and just go with Calvin Ball rules. This was a one time thing. No big deal.
All right. So you still need to describe how you are tamping down Meathead's reaction.
Um, yes, that's the thing though. I don't know how to.
Oh,
Would you like me to do it instead?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Ethan, from within you, you can feel Meathead's fear and anxiety. Ah, there's something else within your shared body, and he doesn't like it. You can also feel a distinctly different kind of revulsion. If you concentrate on it, you can get brief flashes of imagery going through Meathead's mind. Uh, he seems to be equating what you did to the death mask with the death mask to cannibalism. Uh, uh, However, the body might be shared, but you are the one in control. By hardening your resolve, you can feel Meathead settle down, but not because he wants to. The imagery within your mind of Meathead's fear um, is replaced by imagery of bars and chains. Meathead goes entirely silent. The other spirit within you You can hear it laughing. You said you wanted to do the thing with the mask?
Yeah, I'm going to basically uh expel the offending material, let's say.
All right. So you're just gonna hork it up down the mountain?
Yeah.
All right. The death mask, cracked but not broken, is expelled from Ethan's mouth and falls down the mountainside. Father Calavera immediately dives after it. No! Uh, he catches it in midair and disappears, discorporating as you can feel the pull of the underworld calling him back now that he no longer has the mask on. All right, combat has been resolved. So, just to let you know, Wavering's going to stick with you for a while. To resolve it, you need to make a significant physical or material sacrifice when following your Geist's remembrance. Resolving this condition will grant you a synergy beat.
That was that was deeply unpleasant.
So that's not how we do that. I need to figure out how to fix that. Anyways, sorry about all that. Nice to meet you. My name's Ty.
The ghost sitting in the cast off rocking chair gets up, his burnt skin crackling. Uh, he uh, slings the shotgun over his back. He pushes up the smoldering straw hat on his head and looks at the group of you with eyes dripping with burning vitreous jelly. Well, I didn't expect to see that, but good job taking care of that Reaper.
Sorry, new on the job. Grinning Sam told us you would be expecting us.
Sure am, he said, but he looked inside and then looking inside the cabin, says, although it seems like both you and that Reaper chose the wrong time to come here. Now that the commotion's over, the three of you can all hear the humming noise, the coming in waves from within the cabin. Uh, and you can immediately tell that this noise uh, isn't of natural origin.
Well,
That noise.
may I ask what's happening in the cabin? Sounds like something pretty interesting's going on.
Uh, the old ghost shrugs and says, not all that interesting. The girl's just holding the one person seance.
Oh, nifty.
I've been doing my best to make sure that she couldn't hear the ruckus outside, he says. Uh, but I'm pretty sure she's going to hear you talk.
Well, I think I might know who it is. Uh, I turn to Nathan and say, "Hey, Nathan." I pass him a bottle of extremely familiar-looking ectoplasm. Looks like somebody needs a drink.
doke. Nathan takes the drink.
No, not
The
you.
No, Nathan takes the bottle. Sorry. And wanders over to knock on the door, not bothering to wait for a response before he sticks his head in.
Um, from within the cabin, Nathan can see uh, Chloe Adams sitting on the ground, um, her crutches folded at her sides, uh, with a spirit board on the ground. Uh, surrounding the cast-off cabin, you can see ectoplasmic chains withdrawing. The ghost seems to have been outside, seems to have loosened the power that he was using to keep her from hearing uh, the ruckus y'all were making. As she hears Nathan's voice, she takes her hands off the spirit board, and the humming noise immediately ceases. Huh? She looks up. Nathan Cartwright, what are you doing here?
Well, we did say that we would help you with your seance, since a one person seance isn't very useful.
She scowls at you and says, "That was nearly 2 weeks ago.
I
I
was
haven't been able to
busy.
get in. I haven't been able to get in touch with any of you three."
Oh, well, that is simple. Hold on. Nathan pulls out his cell phone and, as if this solves everything, opens a new contact and hands her the phone.
She puts in her information, but doesn't look any happier. Look, you guys said you would help, and then you just ditched me. So I came up here to do it myself.
Well, we already did it for you. Take a drink of this.
Uh, she looks at the water bottle holding the pool of plasm, uh, dubiously. By the way, I do want to mention this. Did any of you actually spend your own plasm?
uh, I was not allowed to, so I actually am at full plasma at the moment.
I did.
I I've spent three dots of plasm or 3 points.
All right, well, there is a pool of ectoplasm outside, and I believe that it's worth about 5 points of plasm if you want to have a nosh.
The one that was the ghost.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
but it's
ghost that you.
importantly not a ghost anymore, so it doesn't count as ectophagia.
Kenny,
Well,
is
I
that true?
mean,
Is that
well, I mean, he's
correct?
not dead. Ghosts, just when they're forcibly discorporated, ghosts return to their anchors unless they don't have any essence.
So if I consume this, is it ectophagia?
No, it is not.
Okay. We'll
So
see how the day goes.
I bottle it up and carry it with me. It's a it's a physical object, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's just goo on the ground.
Yep. A collection of sports bottles has joined the things that I carry in my sports bag, and now they're full with the new what was I calling it? Protein drink that I've decided to start working with. I
Oh,
then proceed to join Nathan inside afterwards.
so mark down that you've got 5 points of free floating plasm to consume.
Uh, Ethan is going to sit down, take a deep breath, and the you can hear him kind of to himself say something to the effect of, "I I didn't know that was a person."
Who is a person?
The
The
mask.
the
Oh,
mask. He's having a little
Uh,
bit of an existential crisis himself.
so you went inside the cabin.
Hmm.
The ghost follows you inside, and he says, "Sure is, bud." He sits down in a cast-off chair. Uh, Once again, you have a difficult time keeping the mortal remains of the cabin and the spectral cast-off in mind at once. It's difficult to look at both the burnt remains of the floor and the dirt, and also the spectral rug and with chairs, dining table, and a bed in one corner that remain here. Uh, the ghost doesn't seem to mind. He simply looks from Nathan to Chloe to Ethan. I don't suppose you fellas have encountered all that many Reapers, right?
I shake my head silently.
That's our second time with the same one, and that's about it.
Well, you said you didn't know about those masks. You know what they are, right? They're what gets left behind when a powerful ghost is destroyed for the final time. Like a coffin for Geists.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that again.
If and you were to kill me, I'd leave one of those behind too. I drunk from the sticks. I'm a Geist. The fellows call me Old John Walker because of the liquor that they found me with. I don't know my real name, but John's as good as any others. And that young lady, he said, pointing down at Chloe, who has not heard him, uh, has come around for the first time in a while. Without her little friend, I see.
I laugh quietly to myself, and I I gesture for be aggressive to make herself known. We're having an explanation that we need to make because this is her little friend.
The aggressive manifests, uh, crouching behind Ty and looking at John Walker and Chloe from around his legs. I can see the resemblance, says the Geist.
I reach down and stroke her hair comfortingly, knowing this is going to be a rough day. So,
Back
Chloe,
to back to Nathan and Chloe briefly, because Nathan suggested that Chloe drink the liquid, and Chloe looked at him all weird. Do you guys all want to join in, or Nathan, would you like to roll to convince her?
If I drink this with her, do I also have to experience those memories again?
I'm afraid it can't be shared. It's for whoever drinks it.
Okay, so it's a one person thing.
Sorry, boss. Wasn't expecting to
Look,
use it right away.
look, you already believe in seances, you already believe in ghosts. Pretty sure that you can just drink the liquid to get the memory, and it would not be out of line with your personal ethos.
All right, so what do you want to roll?
I would like to roll composure plus persuasion.
Sure. Composure is more of defense, but I think you would be pretty defensive right about now.
4 successes. Olive, leave the fucking mouse alone. Sorry.
So, Chloe looks at the bottle skeptically, but takes it and drinks it anyway. After a moment or two of blinking, she looks up at you and says, "This tastes like blueberries," before immediately falling back onto the ground, uh, her eyes and mouth emitting the light of the projection going on within her head.
So that's what happens. Noted. Don't do that in front of other people. Anyways, that's gonna be a minute. So John, nice to meet you. Sorry about the ruckus on your doorstep. Um, I hope I was able to dispatch it uh to your satisfaction. Um, I heard that you saw what happened to us over at the old warehouse.
He shrugs and says, "Yeah, I'm glad you guys took care of the Reaper. I imagine he's here for the same reason you folks happened by. He heard the seance. But you say you were here to talk about the warehouse?"
Yep, it's where I died after all.
He leans back until the back of the chair touches the ghostly wall of the cabin. "Well," he says, "I don't know if how much this will help you, but uh, Sam's already talked to me about it, so yeah, I'm willing to talk." So I ended up in that warehouse because the fella who was handling all the bodies had lit a whole bunch of candles. "I'm attracted to fire," he said, holding up one of his burnt fingers with blue spectral flame coursing up and down it. "So I showed up and I got me an eyeful." He says, he coughs and then says, "So there was a fella in a raincoat. He'd brought he'd driven a school bus up to the warehouse and he was unloading a bunch of unconscious bodies. He had a bunch of these little platforms set up inside, little brass plates that he had they had stuff written on. He set them up and he started doing his work, if you know what I mean.
I'm familiar.
I do think the most interesting part was he always did the same thing before and after. Uh, he had him a set of them pigments that you make paint with, the dry ones.
Hmm.
And before he got started, he would do this thing where he clasped his hands together and sprinkle some of the pigment on top of your head, like he was anointing them. And when he was done, he would do the same thing, beginning and end every single one. I imagine that he was doing something mystical, but it ain't my cup of tea. There was that fella with the shovel who showed up to watch a little later on, and there was that young lady, the one with the prom queen sash, who showed up too. She talked to one of the ghosts that was hanging around, a black-haired girl. Um, she was hanging out in front of her body, which had been nailed to a stack of books upside down. Uh,
Well, no wonder.
she didn't. She must not have liked what the prom queen had to say, because I saw her run off towards town library. Uh, Around a couple hours later, he finished up arranging all the bodies. I took me a look around. It was like he was putting together some sort of gallery or a museum. Uh, then he drove off in the school bus. And after a couple hours, I left.
So, stupid question. Were all those materials already waiting at the place for him, or did he bring them in?
He brought him with him.
Okay. And last question. Uh, I don't suppose he ever took that mask off or his gloves or anything.
Roll me a chance die, please.
Dice are not liking us tonight, but worth a shot.
What if we all spend a plasma and we all roll a chance die and we take the one that's
That's a
best?
1. No. The dice say no.
Yeah, he kept his mask on the whole time. He had a gas mask on under his raincoat.
Well,
Who needs to take some lessons from Spider-Man?
thank you very
Any
much.
any limping, anything unusual about his walk or mannerisms or
Or his
anything?
voice? Could I trade you a memory for the memory?
Roll me a chance die real quick. Let's see. Well, he said, I don't want your memories, kid, but I do remember that he was reading off some sheets of paper, and he kept going back and correcting himself. I think he was speaking in French at the time.
Interesting.
I took a good look at those sheets of paper, and there was a lot of stuff that had been scribbled out and over them.
So so he was speaking in French but having a difficult time doing it?
And he had a set of sheets of paper that he'd had everything written down on that were physically there at the time.
Well, the
We
Da
gotta
Vinci
go
Killer
watch a
was in
movie.
Paris.
Mr. Walker, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you've done for us today. This is this is the biggest lead we've gotten yet.
The ghost nods and says, well, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. You all did help me with that Reaper problem, but probably not good for that young girl to be up here. He looked down at Chloe. Uh, the Reaper was right about that. Her and her little friend used to come up here all the time until a few years ago when they stopped. Not a lot of people come to visit me up here, you see, so I take note.
Uh, we'll make sure they get down nice and safe. They should wake up in a minute or two. Just, they've been wondering what happened to their friend, and so, I tapped the side of my head. I have access to, a way of letting her see what happened. I figured it was the easiest way.
He shrugged and says, Sure, makes sense to me.
Anyways, I'll get her back down the mountainside. Don't worry. Um, Thank you very much for all your help, and if you run across anything or you need any help from us, we're always happy to be in the neighborhood. We're trying to help out around here in general.
Don't be a stranger, he says. Not a lot of folk come up here, like I said. Uh, so it's not much to do except watch the little hotel down there.
Oh, one other question I had. Any other Geists kicking around up here? I'm trying to meet everybody. Haven't been much up to the Cotton Winter Resort.
There's the lady up at the peak.
The lady?
Yeah, the skiing lady. I don't know her too well. I'm hardly ever up there.
Okay, we'll have to swing by sometime.
And I have heard the car on the roads.
The car?
Yeah, but I ain't got no reason to be out there either, so
Sure.
shrugs. I don't know too much about it.
We'll have to go and make some introductions. I reach out a hand to shake his. Thank you, hon.
You can feel John Walker's skin crinkling under your hands unpleasantly, as if you were gently but firmly squeezing a large pork rind.
Um, am I allowed to do something just for aesthetics purposes for a moment? I'll spend a plasm for it.
Sure.
I'd just like to take on the appearance of myself at my death for just a moment.
Uh, sure.
Uh, for a second, the healthy glow of Ty's skin falls away to the horrific third degree burns covering his body. Burning to death really sucks, doesn't it?
I'm glad I don't remember, he says.
Probably for the best.
There's not much that I appreciate from having drunk the sticks, but that I appreciate.
Well, good to meet you, Johnny.
So are you guys going to take Chloe outside before she wakes up, or are you going to wait for her?
I'd wait.
I don't think she's
Ye-
going to be down for that long, and probably for the best if she can walk.
Also, waking up in a second location after you pass out in a room full of guys just does not seem like a great idea.
I would prefer not to have obviously carried her around during that time, especially if I don't think it's going to be too long.
Yeah.
Uh, she wakes up not too long after, just a few minutes after your conversation. The lights projecting from her eyes and mouth go away, and she rolls onto her stomach and immediately begins puking.
Yeah, wasn't fun for us either. I I politely reach over and pat her on the back to help speed things along their way.
Okay, what the fuck was that? She asks.
So I assume you saw me dying in that.
Yeah, I saw I remember that video that was posted uh about the guy in the raincoat on the school bus. This was like that, but there was way more to see. He came on the bus, shot the teacher, and gassed everybody. Yeah.
So, I'm gonna just need you to accept what you saw there, and then I'm going to give you a quick description of what happened thereafter. Everybody, including me, who got shot shortly thereafter on the way out, uh, got dragged to that warehouse, including Sarah Williams. Thereupon, he killed us all. Um, we did not, in fact, get away cleanly. We did not survive.
At this moment, Nathan pulls out a bottle of water from his backpack and hands it to her.
I reach behind myself, grab my hockey stick, and spend a plasm. It materializes. You want to talk to ghosts? Good news. Right here. And I'm
She
afraid
freaks out slightly and coils back when the hockey stick manifests.
Sarah Williams took dying really roughly. They were one of the first to, I don't know a better word for wake up under these circumstances. And they asked if there was any way they could come back to life to whoever happened to be there. They got told the one way. They went to the underworld, they drank the waters of the Styx, and they forgot much of who they were. They came back and found a way to share a vessel with somebody to come back to Earth. So I would like to introduce you to Sarah Williams as she is now. Be aggressive if you wouldn't mind.
Sorry about that. Zoom crashed.
Hi, things are going to look a little weird on channel for a second.
All right, I'm kicking the old Kenny.
Sorry, guys. Uh, anyways,
Audio's good though. Hey.
I'm
hey,
glad it worked out.
new problems I can deal with. If they repeat themselves, I can deal with them. So, I believe before Be Aggressive has manifested in a visible fashion. Can I ask her to do that again?
Uh, Technically, I don't think she can, but spin the plasm and I'll allow it because it's dramatic.
I do so.
Right. With every cell in your body, you will be aggressive to manifest from Twilight. Uh, you release some ectoplasm into the air, which sublimates into a temporary vessel for her to inhabit, sort of like she's being unleashed. But she remains firmly tethered instead of being allowed off the leash. She scrabbles forward from behind uh, your legs, the hair hanging over her face, uh, blocking most of her mouth. Hi, she says.
I'm very sorry that this is how it went down, but nobody was particularly happy with the events of that day.
Uh, Chloe hesitantly puts out a finger. Be aggressive. Uh, puts down one of her pom poms and withdraws her massive clawed hand and very gently taps the hand with the claw. The ectoplasm that has allowed her physical form is not strong enough to break skin. Uh, Chloe feels the cold draft of the ghostly hand passing through her own. Is that you, Sarah? The aggressive cocks ahead and looks around the cabin, then looks back at Ty, then shrugs.
She's lost almost all of her memory to her efforts to come back. I'm very sorry.
Come you've got to remember something. Like we used to come back here all the time in middle school. You like to throw snowballs at the skiers. Be aggressive, clicks her teeth, but uh, doesn't respond otherwise. She looks
I've
up at Ty and cocks her head before growling, "Friend,
Friend.
if you guys wanted to say something, I'm done."
I turned to Chloe. I said, I know this isn't exactly what you were hoping to hear. I wish that I could present you with your ghostly friend, have her have a full conversation and a heart to heart. But she's the only reason I'm alive. And if that's kind of on a technical note, we're keeping this sack of meat going because we wanted to find the man who killed her. And that's all that's keeping me going right now. If you want to help, I'll happily jump you in. We've got a little group going. I'll introduce you to all our ghostly little friends and all the non-ghostly ones. But this is a dangerous and scary little thing we're working at, and I can't promise you you're going to be satisfied with anything because the sticks took a lot.
All right. At this point, Be Aggressive hops excitedly and says, "Yes, find and kill."
Nathan nods and echoes, find and kill.
Find and kill.
Looking somewhat concerned, Chloe takes a deep breath and swallows. "Okay, if that's what you want, then yeah, I'll do it, Sarah." And Ty.
I reach out a hand. Welcome to the Whispering Peaks Mystery Society.
All right. Uh, I think we're going to end here. So, 2 beats for everyone. Ty has completed a stage of Be Aggressive's remembrance, so take a dot of synergy.
Yay! Woo!
All right, is this the first one that you completed?
No, the second.
Congrats. And so this is the second one, so you'll be getting an additional remembrance trait.
Woo!
All right, let's go over everyone's aspirations. Who wants to go first?
I will. So, I think we definitely took a step forward on finding clues about the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Getting to know Josie. I did uh something with the prom queen today.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
learned about what went down with her and Lenore.
Okay.
Yeah, remember, because that was one of the things that came up. She had offered the bargain to another ghost first.
Right. Rude. Okay. Hmm. Not offended at all. Um,
You need to track
Find my
Lenore.
grandpa's ghost. I think I definitely took a step towards that by talking to my grandma.
Yes,
Make a new friend. Definitely took a step towards that.
yes,
And we had a nice meeting, sort of. It was a meeting that could be, in some terms, nice.
yes.
So that was me.
All right, who's next?
Okay. Get out of Whispering Peaks. Um, I took a step towards that because I have made contacts. I've made contact and impressed someone with a lot of wealth and influence that I might be able to pull on. I don't believe I made it any progress towards my world record speed run. Um, learn the rules of the game. I know who I now know who's in charge of uh, 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 the
Cult of Mammon.
the yeah, the Chosen of Mammon, and
Hmm.
also we learned who the last of the remaining Geists are. So at this point, I know who all the major players are in town. So I'd like to step and clear that.
Makes sense.
So that's that. Then stick it to the man. I made the mayor look like a fucking chump. So I'd like
That's
to
also fair.
so I'd like to step and clear that, and
Hmm.
then um, carry on a family tradition. I joined the I got initiated into the cult. So I'd like to step and clear that as well.
Okay, makes sense.
Congratulations on your absolutely vomiting amount of experience.
Yeah, thank you. And that's me.
Alrighty, and who's last?
I believe that would be me. Get scouted for college hockey. Um, I both did some work with the team today, and I played hockey with the new team. So I think that's some progress there.
Yep,
Find the son of a bitch who took everything from me. We've gotten another great lead on what happened during our death and connected all of the things we think are going on with the Da Vinci murders being related to this. Almost writ that down. We also know there's a document in the memory available there that, if we read it, might give us all sorts of information. So that's a huge, huge thing. Um, Learn about how we died. Got the description. That was what we came here for.
hmm,
Get some help looking into the killer. I asked Myrtle to look into the Da Vinci murders with me this during the day actions, and she was willing to help. So hopefully that'll get me some information I wouldn't have found on my own.
yep.
And play some fucking hockey. I played some fucking hockey. I
Oh,
also beat a man unconscious with a stick today. So that's pretty hockey.
All right. And yeah, that works too. So I think we've finished then. Well, thanks for coming out to watch, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Uh, uh, and that is us done for the day.
We have one more thing.
Yeah.
I believe all going to plan. This is our last normal stream, and we should be affiliate the next time we stream. So make sure you guys tune in.
Hopefully. So tune in next time in 2 weeks. And hope everyone has a good night.